First step is we're going to check the voltage on the battery. 3.25 volts. That's completely shot. We need to take this out and replace it. So first step is, take a 10 mil, loosen this up. Another 10 mil over here, loosen that up. And then you got about another 12 millimeter down there you got to take off. And so then we'll pop them off real quick, loosen them up, pop it off, take that nut off down there, pull this out here, and then you should be able to pop the battery out easy. So for the start battery here, it's a 13 millimeter right here. Just take this off. Bam, bam, bam. Take it off right there. And then let's pull this thing, latches under there like that. So you pull it out like that. And then you have access to the studs right there. And you take your 10 mil and you get these two loose right here. Make sure you look at the cables for corrosion. Make sure they're not going to check the cables for corrosion. After you get the nuts off. Okay, we got the nuts off. Pull these wires off. Make sure you got both of them. Make sure you put them back exactly where they went on. Make sure the positive is on the right side and the negative is on the right side. So then next step is you got to take that stud out and you got to take that stud out so that you can put them back in. So if you don't have a Torx bit, for that, you just grab a vice grip. Lock the vise on there. Break them loose. Put a vice grip on this side. Break it loose. We're in the middle of the jungle right now. Alright, so this is the old battery and this is the new battery. So righty tighty, put the stud back in the new battery. And this is the ETX 12 AGM 100. This is the start-stop battery for the Jeep Compass. This is the one that we're replacing right now. So if you find one of those, that's the battery. All right, so here we go. Got the studs in the battery. We're gonna hook up the ground first. And put this on. Make sure the hose is in this, the cable's in this little clamp right here. So like it's not shaking around. I'm talking about that clamp right there. Make sure that's in there. And then we got two positive cables right here. Put those on. And then put the nut on. So we got both hoses on. All right. Now we got both cables hooked up. Kind of give them a nice little tighten. Make sure you don't ground it out because you don't want to touch metal if your socket's on the positive. So we're just getting the ground cable tightened up here, nice and snug. You gotta make sure these are tight because this battery is being used constantly. And then next step is tuck this under there like that, and then make sure it goes over the bolt And then grab the nut, 13 millimeter, put that back on. And then grab your ratchet or wrench, tighten that up. Okay, here we go. Now to get this battery in, you gotta like tip it in here like this, and then pull it kind of straight up like this. Kind of create some space here. And gotta move that over. Make sure you get it on the right of this bracket right here, otherwise it's not gonna pop in there. So, all right, there we go. It's in place. And then now we can hook up the ground and the positive. Ground's over here. And this over here. Make sure it's on there all the way. Make sure there's no corrosion on it. Clean it up if it's dirty. And then put that on. We'll tighten this up, push that through, tighten that up. Okay, then we'll go over here. And we'll create some space for this wire here. And we'll slap that on there like that. And then we'll grab our 10 millimeter here. Be careful not to go metal. Don't touch any metal with this on there. Good thing they don't have a lot of metal around here. Yeah, just tighten it up nice and snug. Make sure this battery cable is super tight, because you do not want a loose battery cable, especially with all this electronics. Look at all this ridiculousness. Make sure all these are tight too. All these studs, all these nuts. Check all over all this metal. Make sure it's not extremely corroded. Just make sure it's all good. All right, we got both cables on there. We got the main battery hooked up. We got the bolt strap nut on, batteries in spot. All right, fired up. Bam. Need a new battery. Both of them. And if you leave town for any reason, make sure you unhook these batteries. There's too much electronics here, and it will kill your batteries when you're on vacation.